And so this afternoon, I was listening to the leader of the Democratic Alliance, John Steenhuisen, singing the praises of the SONA speech made by President Cyril Ramaphosa. And of course, attacking the ANC cabinet. In fact, calling for the ANC cabinet immediately to be fired by President Ramaphosa. You see, this is what happens when you hand yourself over to the agents of white monopoly capitalism and you get controlled by the forces of white money. You do not only speak like a puppet, their words, but they start instructing you on exactly what you have to do. They've lost all respect for Cyril Ramaphosa. He is now their agent. He is now there to be instructed by them about what to do. It is hard to think that one can find yourself in any more pathetic position than where President Cyril Ramaphosa is right now. He is evidently sold out. He is evidently been sent and planted inside the African National Congress to destroy the ANC, to destroy the historical, economic, liberation positions that the African National Congress had held, to move the ANC away from being a pro-poor revolutionary liberation movement to a new liberal party that stands in the service of local and international, mainly white, monopoly capital. I and other comrades have been saying this for many a year now. For having said this, we've been attacked, we've been persecuted. The Secretary General of the African National Congress was suspended from his position on trumped-up charges, on flimsy, so-called oversight charges. For 22 years, President Jacob Zuma had been pursued and persecuted, with one plot being executed against him after the other, with politicians, white monopoly capitalists, and the National Prosecuting Authority all in cahoots. Recently, I had to appear again in the Escort Magistrates Court on trumped-up charges for COVID-19 so-called breaking of regulations. The instruction for me to be arrested was directly given by the Minister of Police to police officers who were present at Escort on the 8th of July. I did not break any COVID-19 regulations at all. I was arrested while I was busy doing an interview with SABC television. And the nation was treated to the live spectacle of police grabbing me and pushing me into a police car, while evidently I had done nothing wrong. What has happened to me is not an isolated case. It is happening to many others, Comrade Bongani Bongo, Comrade Batabile Dlamini. I can go on and on. In my personal case, I've now been fired from my position, the job that I held at the African National Congress, a firing process that took exactly 4 hours and broke every possible labor law clause that you can imagine. I've not been paid any salary since August last year. I tried to be reasonable, took these matters to the CCMA for conciliation and arbitration. I was met with a most unreasonable ANC management who were not prepared to settle for anything. who evidently had been given instructions by the top leadership of the African National Congress from President Ramaphosa and the Treasurer General of the African National Congress, Paul Mashatile, down, that I must not be accommodated and no reasonableness must be shown to me. These are the realities. I'm just one of those that the African National Congress current rogue leadership have decided that they want to destroy. Now they know that I've had no income since August. They know that obviously I must be in financial difficulties to pay my rent, to take care of my livelihood and daily expenses. They know all of those things, but they've done so deliberately. They want to destroy me. They want to see me out on the street. They want to see other comrades like President Jacob Zuma and the Secretary General of the ANC, Comrade Ace Magashule, destroyed and out on the street. Now, my dear President Cyril Ramaphosa, my dear Treasurer General Paul Mashatile, and the rest of the senior leadership of the African National Congress and senior management of the ANC, I've got news for you. I've been in the struggle for over 43 years. I have faced the apartheid regime and the apartheid security police. I was detained in solitary confinement for many a month. I was tortured to the point where I lost most of my hearing. I was arraigned in front of an apartheid court and charged with high treason and given a sentence of 15 years. I've dedicated my life to the liberation struggle and to this beloved liberation movement of ours, the African National Congress. Nothing you can throw at me can scare me. Nothing you can do can even remotely be compared to what had already been done to me. So I'm telling you, you're not going to scare me. You're not going to intimidate me. You're not going to silence me. You can take away all my money. You can even force me to lose my place of residence. You can make it almost impossible for me to live. Yes, you can try and do all of those things. But one thing you're not going to do is to take control of my independent mind and the commitment that I've made for liberation in South Africa when I joined the African National Congress at the young teenage age of 19 years. I've seen it all. I've stayed the course. I'm not about to be defeated now. I'm not about to sell out now. I'm not going to be told by a Johnny-come-lately, such as President Cyril Ramaphosa, what I should think, what my commitment should be, and where I'm going to push for this country and for the African National Congress to be saved. So to you, Cyril Ramaphosa, my message is you must go. You've been a sellout. You've been a Johnny-come-lately in the struggle. Recently, you showed yourself as an agent of the Democratic Alliance, the mouthpiece of new liberal white economic policy programs. It is evident that you don't care a damn about the poor. We will not rest. I will not rest, and many of my fellow comrades will not rest until you go with your whole National Executive Committee. So this coming Thursday, I'll be back again in the Escort Magistrates Court. I will continue to face the farcical COVID-19 related charges that had been brought against me, incented and pushed for by the Minister of Police, illegally so and in abuse of his powers. I cannot foresee the outcome. I know that I'm up against a very corrupt and captured legal and court system. But one thing you can foresee is that I'm not going to change my mind. It is very simple. This man, this comrade, is not for turning. LUTA CONTINUA.